Good afternoon. Good after what? Good afternoon. It is Wednesday. It feels like it is Thursday. That doesn't really mean much. But anyway, it's been a long week already with a lot of action. It's hump day. We're over the hump. And with that being said, lots of market action. At this point, the SPX is still hovering near highs. Not enough power to break through, but still above the 8 and 21 day. Let's just start looking at some charts. You look here at the SPX and you will see that here is that accelerated trend, the intermediate trend, and then here was your red dog reversal right there for a nice move. Let's magnify this a little bit here. You magnify it up and you will see that even though this is choppy, and it is choppy because I'm in that chop slop with all of you, we're still above the 8 day, we're still above the 21 day, we're still hovering by highs, so no real reason to get ultra bearish. There are stocks that you could short and stocks you can get long, you could play ranges, you could hold, you could do whatever it is you want to do. But for now, still above this area, hard to get uber bearish. Same way, you shouldn't be all in long. So here is your inside range right here, and we'll figure out what is next in the coming sessions. A break and close below this, maybe we retest a little lower. If we hold in here another session or so and some banks get a little stronger, maybe we break above it. Talking about those banks, you go to the XLF, still hanging around. Very lethargic. Still in this range, still in the mid-level range, but it's hanging in there. So I'm not going to try it with that being said. No reason to run for the hills, but no reason to be in a tier 2 or tier 3 until it starts breaking above there. There was an early trade on Goldman Sachs that some people took on the site. It was a nice quick one, but just like the mantra which we've been talking about, you have to take your trade. It opened up, broke below the prior day's low, gave you a move all the way down to support, came back up, and still just looks a little wishy-washy. Bank of America did somewhat of the same thing, tried to reverse into big, from big support. No reason to be all in, maybe be in some if you have to be. I got back a little bit, a little late, and if it were to break above this in the coming sessions, that would be helpful, and look at the other banks there. As far as some of the stocks that we trade, if you come back to me, Andrew, who's off the set of a Frou Frou movie scenario. Anyway, that was your shout out. Apple, nothing done. Look at this stock, look at this chart, look at this just grind lower. Here is your little sell signal when it broke above and closed back below. I drew this line a little sloppy. Here was that buy signal, and now it's just been crawling lower. Could it be that the powers of will stopped buying the stock because they would like the shareholders on Friday to be a little bit more frustrated, to do something a little bit more drastic before we reverse? Maybe. We had a small red dog reversal right here that got negated. Today there really wasn't any. I tried it once or twice. It's now in that gap. Some are taking it home long just in case something happens, but from what I've learned in Apple, it's hard to just be long it just in case something happens. Tomorrow, maybe we hold the 150 day, maybe we reverse. Who knows? Until that happens, I'm really not just focusing on this. I'm trying to avoid it and take little trades if they show themselves, but really didn't get caught in this mess. We had a nice trade into the gap here when it held this and continued higher, and now just looking for an opportunity to make perhaps a higher low and look a little bit better. It would be nice if they freaking come out and say something already about their iPhone 6, about the bigger screen, about the iWatch, just something different. Come on, Tim Cook, get with the game. As far as Tesla's concerned, just a little bit of technical education here. You want to trade this stock when it shows you some kind of technical pattern. During last year, it was really good to us as it made a really nice trend above the 21 day before, finally showing some relative weakness. I remember right around here, broke that trend on earnings, went lower, then resumed that trend down here and really got it re-energized right there. From there, very nice pattern to the upside, riding the 8 and 21 day prior to earnings. If you do not take stock into earnings, which I don't, you go flat, you wait to see what to do after hours, and then after hours it traded through 206, held in there, and then gave you a buy signal when it went above 215, and then you had that big Morgan Stanley upgrade. So now here it is, gave you a small red dog reversal right here. That was 259.20, the high 265. I know intraday we made some cute money short, quick money short, and then later in the day did the same. I went out a little short. They did announce a convertible Wasn't really getting crushed after hours. I covered some. I talked about on the VTF, even in Twitterland, at 247, and I'm still short a little bit. We'll see how it acts. I'm hoping at some point when the moving averages catch up, I could rebuy it and get a more normal move here. Let's see what it's doing right now. It'll either put me in a bad mood or a good move. I had just say I left a third on, and Tesla, even with a third on, could crush it if it goes the wrong way. So let's take a look if I could do this right this time. Go to where is the time? I think here you go. Time templates. You go West Coast, East Coast to the West Coast, and you go 5 minute. 5 minutes. Is it going to come? Oh, still, wait, 257. Where are we right now? No, let's go 3 minute. 3 minute. 24 hour. Okay, how do I? I'm getting calls in from the back room. Maybe Darcy, you should come in here. Where's 24 hours? You go time templates. Oh, there you are, Darcy. So, with that being said, after hours, it's already back to almost flat. I guess I'm glad I covered a little bit there. People, that's why I said I'm not going to press it after hours. This was pretty telegraphed, and I think the arrangement of it was just fine. So with that being said, here you are, and after a quick move lower, I'm happy that I got out of. I did have a little size, and now when I get back there, I guess I'll see whether or not I want to cover a little bit more and just wash my hand of it. But either way, really the setup is you don't recover or you don't cover unless it takes back 260, which is right up there. So we'll see. I knew it was going to be that easy that as soon as they made the announcement, everyone's going to be able to cover. So we'll see how that goes. It's never that easy. Same thing with Facebook. Facebook, not that different, right? You do have this trend line. It did make a new high first, squeeze some shorts out. Maybe some people got a cute short there or added here, and then gave you a second red day. But it's still, until it breaks this, it's hard to really add short. You can as a cute, you can make money long into the dip and sell the rally until it resumes again. And now we're 3 days, and we'll see what happens here next. Moving along, let's talk about Google, which really hasn't been much to talk about lately. It's still just trending above the 8-day with not much action there. LinkedIn, we did talk this morning how you got an upgrade after a big move into a trend line, probably a better short-term sell than buy. And if you look here, it opened up like 5 or 6 and traded off those highs. So a nice, cute tactical trade if that's what you were looking for in LinkedIn. Now see if it could hover higher for a few sessions, and if it does, maybe it can continue. But today, on an active level, was a better short than a long. Same thing for here. This was your nice red dog reversal. 2-day move, held in there, and then there you go. As far as Zynga, nice little push. Continues. I'm still in there. It's trending higher. Nothing much more to say there. Twitter tried to be strong and then came back in a little bit, trying to build a mid-level triangle slash pennant to see which way it resolves. At this point, you're not sure. If you're in a little bit, you could be in along a little verse the low here of 54.50 and then see what happens if it were to take that out. BlackBerry, I think it held in just fine. You look at this move that it's had. This was this nice breakout trade above this prior pattern here. Today, it went sideways, held the gap, didn't pull in 8-day, 21 day. Let that play a little catch up, and then perhaps we get another trade through 11. We shall see. Just sit tight there. Some other little guys still not really breaking out and going. This FIO is driving me to drink, and it's not even Thursday. Above 11:30, maybe it can go. Until then, try and be light and not overdo it. I've lost money trying to buy it each time up there. C-Trip was a really good trade today. Still there. Had it in off the charts. We had a podium move right here. Then you had a nice little trade right there, and pulled and held in fine when the market pulled back. So I would not be too worried there. If you're going to swing it, swing it. I'm hearing actually from some sales traders that fundamentally this looks like you could try and stay with it. So I'm going to try and stay with it. We'll see how that goes. Yelp, I've been trying to stay with for a week, and then finally it got me out. Added to it when it broke above yesterday's high, sold a little strength, then I got stopped out when it came in here, thinking that maybe we pull in, and it's probably a bad idea to sell that right there because I probably won't get back in, but it still looks fine. It's just choppy, very, very choppy. Either I think you sit in it or you trade it on a micro basis. But overall it's still fine. It's just not clean, but there's not many clean things in the market right now. As far as Baidu, I'm not sure if they reported yet. Kind of interesting that 3 upgrades going into the report. So with that said, not that many free lunches out there. So maybe they're giving out one this week. Chinese food. Well, Baidu anyway. With that being said, just because Goldman Sachs said to buy it or someone said to buy it, my rule into earnings, I'd rather see you take, if you want it to be long, some type of call spread where maybe you buy these and you sell these and then you stay involved. And who knows what their intentions really are. But it's been stronger and it's been trending higher. It's right near there. So after hours, if it does trade through 177.32, that's a pivot, and then there's that pivot high if it wants to really blow things out and be a good trade after hours. We shall see. What else was moving around today? Oh, we talked about the solars this morning that potentially could blow off FSLR's earnings. And look at this. It was down a little bit. I got to give Carter a shout out. He said stay all over this thing, and he stayed and had a good day there. It went from negative to positive real quick and took off right back to the highs. Let's see what SPWR did. Didn't quite do that. So see if it has a juice at some point to do it. If it holds higher, keep that on the radar. Let's see what CSIQ did. CSIQ, look at that. Oh, is that the one I just talked about? Well, that was a big move also. No, I don't think I just did. Was that the one? Anyway, that's what type of day it is. But here you go. This didn't seem to care that FSLR is now a little bit in the doghouse. Actually, if you look at it right like this, we talked this morning about the descending channel here, and here's that descending channel. It actually came into it, held it, came off the lows, didn't open up and trade lower, so they gave it a little bit of a pass because solar stocks aren't meant to really have great earnings until they do. With that said, see what happens here and then see if it fills this gap fast. If it fills this gap fast, then within time it could continue. But so far they gave this a little bit of a buy interest down here versus a gap and go to the downside. So I'd still keep your eye on it and not count it out. Plug had that overnight, had a nice sell on the open and then waited a little bit, and then when the market pulled in I actually got out, which I don't think you really need to get out. I would say with a few more sessions of sideways, we'll see how it holds this gap. You'll see if there's continuation there. Triple D, some people were talking about, what did that do? Still hanging around. What did SSYS do? SSYS looks set up. If the market wants to continue and they want to take a former leader, this has been a leader of that sector, the 3D printing sector, so this looks pretty good. For the little guys, I think, Anvo looks pretty much the best out of them. They all don't look great and they're hard to trust, but at some point maybe this gets above 11. Starting to reclaim some moving averages and just something that could be on the radar. I think their whole company is very interesting, but it's still far away from mainstream stuff, but whatever. I'm not going to get too far into that. And that's it. There was definitely activity across the board, lots of stocks moving around. It hasn't really mattered that we haven't made new highs. That's what everyone wants to talk about. But if you're not focused on that, you can be focused on the individual action. And again, it's been a little tricky where as it goes, you have to sell versus add. That's just been the way it is in a choppy tape. And then even on the pullback, if you try and press it, if you're short, you probably ruin your price and you can't hold it. So there hasn't been that much follow through in the past week or so either way. Usually what they try and do is they try and frustrate the bulls and the bears before they resolve a range. And this looks like a range to me. And that range in the spiders is right here, right? This is your range. Trying to make everyone feel as frustrated as possible. At some point, it's either going to break above or break below. But I think the stock action is telling us, it could be above with time. Even if it does pull into here or pull into there, it's still technically strong. We saw the home builders break out today. Let's see if they held. That was one spot of some good news, and there you go. Clean breakout in the home builders. For all the times we've tried to buy this with these descending channels and got a little hurt, whether it was here or whether it was here, there's your clean breakout. And that, to me, that's showing healthy action in the stock market on top of the Qs that are still above the prior highs. If you do remember, if you guys got Kramer's book, How to Get Rich Carefully, I'm on page 270 in that, talking about the home builders in 2012. the beginning of it, or maybe even 2011, how they had a potent move, and a potent move in the home builders could mean that the economy is getting better. And if the economy is getting better, I think the S&P was around 1,300. That's why we came up with S&P 1,700. Thank you, Kramer, for putting me in your book. If you have the book, look at 270. There's that chapter of that segment. So kind of cool. With that said, a token, and that gets me uptown. And I think I only said, with that being said, 4 times. Trying to work on that. We all have to work on our things that we need to work on. And let's take a look at Tesla and see how I'm getting blown out of the water right now with my leftover short. But again, it's only a leftover short, so I really don't care. There you go, 255. So anyone that pressed into that, definitely not feeling so good. So we'll see what happens next. It happens. Wednesday, hump day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.